Let me speak straight to you, the Joint Force, our warriors on the front lines. This is your moment. This is the generational turning point America has waited for since 1979, and since the rudderless wars of hubris, my generation, our generation, endured. Don't listen to the noise. Just stay focused. Our commander-in-chief is steady at the wheel.
At 002:30 local time along the rocky Iranian coastline near the Strait of Hormuz, 5,000 elite US Army Rangers from the 75th Ranger Regiment launched a massive, lightning-fast ground assault against Iran's most important IRGC surveillance post. This heavily fortified complex served as the primary eyes and ears guarding the entrance to the Strait of Hormuz, controlling advanced radar systems, coastal missile batteries, and early warning networks. In one of the largest Ranger operations in modern history, the entire surveillance post was obliterated within minutes. Operation Thunderstrike had just begun. At their forward staging area south of the strait, the Rangers prepared with disciplined intensity. Battalions of the 75th Ranger Regiment geared up in full combat load, plate carriers loaded with extra magazines for Mk18 and M4 rifles, M249 SAW machine guns, Javelin anti-tank missiles, and 60mm mortars. Squad leaders checked breaching charges, grenades, and night vision goggles. Heavy weapons teams loaded ammunition for 50 cal machine guns and Mark 19 grenade launchers. Company commanders ran final radio checks and reviewed 3D maps of the target. The atmosphere was electric yet professional. These 5,000 Rangers represented overwhelming American ground power, and tonight they were coming to erase Iran's ability to monitor and control the Strait of Hormuz. At 02:55, the assault launched. Multiple waves of MH-47 Chinook and MH-60 Black Hawk helicopters lifted off under the cover of darkness, escorted by AH-64 Apache gunships. The formation flew nap of the earth, skimming just above the waves and rocky terrain to avoid detection. At 03:18, the first waves of Rangers fast-roped and air-landed less than 1 kilometer from the IRGC surveillance post. Boots hit the ground in a thunderous wave as thousands of Rangers immediately formed into assault columns and began advancing toward the target under total darkness. At 03:25, the strike began with overwhelming force. Ranger sniper teams and designated marksmen opened the assault, dropping IRGC sentries and radar operators with precise suppressed fire. Moments later, the main force surged forward. Hundreds of Rangers stormed the outer perimeter, breaching fences and concrete barriers with explosive charges. The night erupted with the sound of heavy gunfire as IRGC defenders opened up with machine guns and RPGs from fortified bunkers and watchtowers. The Rangers answered with savage, disciplined violence. Machine gun teams laid down devastating suppressive fire, while assault squads cleared bunker after bunker, using grenades and close-quarters battle drills. Javelin teams destroyed armored vehicles and mobile radar trucks before they could react. Mortar sections walked accurate fire onto enemy concentrations, turning defensive positions into clouds of dust and fire. Within the first 5 minutes, the outer defenses of the surveillance post were completely shattered. The Rangers pushed deeper into the complex. Teams of Rangers stormed the main radar control building, clearing room by room with flashbangs and lethal precision. Demo specialists planted shaped charges and thermite grenades on the massive surveillance radars, communication arrays, and command servers. Explosions rippled across the compound as multi-million-dollar radar systems melted and collapsed. Other teams targeted the underground power generators and missile guidance bunkers, planting charges that sent secondary explosions lighting up the night sky for miles. Iranian reinforcements tried to rush to the scene, but they were met by a wall of American firepower. Apache gunships hovering overhead unleashed 30mm chain guns and Hellfire missiles, obliterating incoming technical vehicles and troop trucks. High above, F-35 fighters from the USS Abraham Lincoln provided top cover, ready to deliver precision strikes on any larger Iranian response. By 03:42, just 17 minutes after the first shot was fired, the entire IRGC surveillance post had been completely obliterated. Every major radar array lay in twisted, burning wreckage. The command center was reduced to rubble. Communication systems were destroyed, missile guidance bunkers were collapsed and burning. Over 5,000 Rangers had executed one of the most rapid and decisive ground assaults of the conflict, sweeping through the complex with unstoppable momentum. At 03:55, the Rangers began a disciplined withdrawal under covering fire from Apache gunships. The last elements fast roped back onto the waiting helicopters as the sky behind them glowed orange from the burning ruins of the surveillance post. No significant American casualties were reported. By 04:40, all 5,000 Rangers had been safely extracted and returned to their staging areas. Behind them, the once proud IRGC surveillance post that had guarded the Strait of Hormuz for years was nothing but smoking rubble and twisted metal. Iran's ability to monitor and control movement through the vital choke point had been completely wiped out in a single, devastating night strike. The 75th Ranger Regiment had delivered a crushing blow. In just minutes, they had obliterated a critical node in Iran's coastal defense network, blinding Tehran's forces and securing unchallenged American dominance over the Strait of Hormuz. The message was unmistakable. When the United States sends 5,000 Rangers from the 75th Regiment to strike a target, that target does not survive. The IRGC surveillance post that once watched over the Hormuz was gone, destroyed in minutes by the overwhelming power and skill of American Rangers. Operation Thunderstrike was a complete and overwhelming success. The Strait of Hormuz now belonged firmly to those strong enough to take it.